Good day. As you know, my name is Uzodinma Nwala, Professor Uzodinma Nwala. I'm the president of Igbo Development Foundation, A.D.F. It's a body embracing many key statesmen in Igboland, coming from traditional institutions, the clergy, politicians, businessmen, intellectuals, and so on. Many people are familiar with what we have been doing since we came on board, all in the interest of protecting the Igbo nation that is beleaguered presently in the Nigerian Federation. On the 28th of July, we tend to hold a very important program. That program was preceded by our anniversary, which came up on the 25th of June. What is the July event all about? There are three components of it. One is the presentation of a book which we have worked on for over a year and a half. The title of the book is The Nigerian January 15th, 1966 Coup, Myths and Realities. That book was written as a result of a major concern of the roots of Igbophobia in Nigeria, the things that they've been using to isolate us, to campaign against us, to distort our character and our identity. That is what happened in 1967, 68, 70. The January 1966 coup, of course, which was followed by the counter coup in July 1966. Then followed the Civil War, the war, Biafra-Nigeria War, or as many people call it, Nigeria-Biafra War, which lasted for 3 years, Now, there are two key elements in that period that have been using to distort our character, our identity. As recently as the burial of General Shagaya, the Nigerian army wrote an obituary in his honor. After eulogizing him, tracing his history, they came to what they called July 1967 counter coup and explained his position, his role with Babangida, with all the rest of them, with Buhari. And they said that that coup was a coup to counter Ironsi January 1966 coup. They called it Ironsi coup. But the popular one they use all over the whole world, they call it Igbo coup. Our children who go to schools in the north, A.B., have told us stories about serious scholars gathering northern students and telling them stories about the coup, about how the Igbos collectively planned and massacred their leaders, and so on and so forth. That is one aspect of the burden we're carrying, the lies of what happened, what provoked that coup. The second one is what followed the coup during the Civil War. We know that the Biafran forces entered the Midwest on their way to the West. The army that embarked on this exercise was called the Liberation Army, led by Colonel Victor Banjo. The world has been told that that incursion, that movement was a movement dictated by the ambition of the Igbos to dominate the rest of Nigeria. So these two elements, the coup as robed Igbo coup, and some call it Ironsi coup, and then the Biafra incursion into the Midwest, which people advertise as showing that Igbos want to dominate Nigeria. We know the truth. A lot of us have discovered the truth a long time ago. But this fallacy has been trending. And when A.D.F decided to take it up, we said we must first of all ask the man, General Gowon, who was Ironsi's second in command and who took over from Ironsi, to tell the world precisely about that coup. Whose coup was it? To tell the world precisely about the Biafra incursion into the Midwest. What provoked it? What was it in aid of? We asked him to tell the world the truth. But especially right now, he's been advertising himself as a born-again, a Christian prayer leader. You know, because he was Ironsi's 2IC. And moreover, he took over from Ironsi. And he was privy to all the investigations about the nature of that coup. What was behind it. So, well, he didn't reply. We have done our work, which is to uncover the truth. And the book has been written. We call it the Nigeria January 15, 1966 Coup, Myths and Realities. It's been edited by a number of very fine Igbo scholars and statesmen, a good number of them. So over a year and a half, we've worked on that book. We want to present it to the world. That is the #1 program for July 28. Now, the second element of the program, well, since the last few years, there has been this new clamor, this unease. Everybody is feeling the pinch of living in a federation that is clueless, a federation that is like a Golgotha, a federation where blood flows, a federation where there's no rule of law. Everybody has been saying, let us reorganize this federation. And going back to history, everybody is aware that this federation, called the Nigerian Federation, is an artificial one. Awolowo said it, Abubakar said it, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa said it, Ahmad Bello said it. In his book, there was a country. Our brother Chinua Achebe dealt with that problem and had two messages, one for Nigeria, saying the crisis of this, endemic crisis of this federation is that it is built on a faulty foundation, and saying if you don't want to live together, we'll sit down and rebuild and lay foundation, a new foundation for the federation. I remember he called Nigeria the wayward child, you know. And of course, he had also a message for the Igbos, who have been the main victims of this flawed federation series of massacres during the colonial period, during post-colonial period, during the Biafra War, and post-Biafra War. You know, his message is to his brothers and say, if they don't want you in Nigeria, come back home and rebuild your nation. Of course, we know ours is a nation, the Igbo nation. And there are several nations. The problem of this country is that these are nations lumped together officially without any distinction. So, in recent times, many nationalities have been coming forward to put up what they consider as their position on how to rebuild this country. If it can be rebuilt, how everybody can go his own way. Declarations have been made. They call it various positions. The Yorubas have had 1 or 2 or 3 positions. They are one, everybody. We are own. Ohaneze had done one in Oka, the Tekweme Square. But what is the response of the Buhari government? They came out and said all these things are balderdash. but they're all provoked by what he called personal agenda. That's what the leaders of the major nationalities have come out to say, call them balderdash, personal agenda, and said that they cannot be accommodated within the 1999 Constitution. And everybody knows that that Constitution was a slave Constitution, carefully crafted in order to give advantage to the Fulani to dominate this country. That's the Constitution they want to insist on upholding. It therefore becomes necessary for the Igbo, and thinking the Igbo, who are the greatest victims of this whole crisis-ridden federation, to once more boldly come forward again and reaffirm that this is what we want as a people. This is the future we want for ourselves and for our children. Well, let me emphasize this. Questions are being asked about A.D.F. ideas on this homeland security. One of the things that struck our mind almost a year now is that we found out that what Fayose has done in Ekiti, what Otum has done in Benue, and Taraba has done, banning open grazing in their territories. That is the road towards taking control, protecting and defending your land. If there is a law passed by the state assemblies, because they have power, banning open grazing bill and providing machineries for protecting their land, I don't see how the Fulanis can come and override that. Our youths will rise up in defense of the law. The churches will rise up in defense of the law. Traditional institutions will rise up in defense of the law. Our women will rise up in defense of the law. So in realizing this, A.D.F. went ahead to propose an anti-open grazing bill law. And we have sent this bill to the 7 Igbo-speaking states: Anambra, Enugu, Abia, Ebonyi, Imo, Delta, and Rivers. Luckily enough, Abia State Assembly has passed the bill, and I think we all should congratulate them, and I hope that our governor, Ibaz, will endorse that bill. The joy we've had in recent times, our governors are beginning to come to themselves, come to their own, realize that they're governors of Igbo, not governors of any other nationality. And we're happy about the stand they have taken against grazing colony, the stand they have taken against ranches, the stand they have taken against programs to seize and create mini foreign colonies, foreign empires in our place. We want to congratulate all of them. And we hope they will move ahead and pass this bill, all the assemblies and all these things. When they do, as I said, our people will rise up to defend it, There are other major issues about our protection. And of course, we believe that our people should be man enough to protect their children who are being slaughtered, killed left, right, and center. The high tide of it was the so-called Operation Python Dance. We have challenged that in court. We get as a version of Alibu. A.D.F. has gone to court. It's challenged that in court, also proceeding to the international court to seek justice for our people, protection for our people. That's what we are doing. As I said, consultations have been going on. We've had with Ohaneze. We've had with Igbo pro-Biafra groups. When they came, during our last program, they came and said they want to work with A.D.F. Of course, IPOB, we have been interacting with IPOB and trying to help them acquire a more positive, firm orientation to play their role as an instrument of Igbo's political struggle and Igbo liberation.
January 15, 1966, Nigeria's first military coup was witnessed.
My main concern is to restore law and order as soon as possible.
The coup was wrongly tagged Igbo coup.
Now let's get it straight. Who actually halted the coup? Aguiyi in Lagos, an Igbo. Emeka Odumegwu in Kano, an Igbo. The Igbos halted the coup. How can it be at the same time an Igbo coup halted by Igbos?
6 months later, a counter-coup was staged. Widespread killing of Igbos in many parts of Nigeria, especially in the north, continued unabated.
But it is impossible to forget that men, women, and children of our kith and kin were taken out of their beds and slaughtered. They were massacred in places of worship, in the streets, in marketplaces, and in vehicles trying to carry them to safety.
Eastern Nigeria was declared a free state by Ojukwu as a desperate measure to protect and end the killing of Easterners in Nigeria.
Our people were being massacred all over Nigeria, and to be able to give them better protection in the circumstance available and within the means available to me, what was done was, once you cross this line, you are home and safe. And Biafra, to a large extent, was in fact that line.
A war of attrition was brought upon the new republic, Biafra. Since after the Nigeria-Biafra War ended in 1970, the world is yet to get the true story of what transpired. But here comes the book that tells it all. The Nigerian January 1966 coup and Biafra, Myth and Reality. Powered by Alibo Development Foundation, ADF. To be launched on 28 July 2018 at Bon Sunshine Hotel, opposite Hotel Presidential, Independence Layout, Enugu. Time 9 a.m. prompt. Be there.
Our people and our friends, we invite you to the event of 28 July this year. The book, indeed, with the title The Nigerian January 1966 Coup, Myths and Realities. In fact, there's a subtitle for Libo. We say, Uncovering the Future, the Truth of the Future, and Liberating Us. That book is a must-read for Umuigbo and our friends in Nigeria, so we can understand the truth, because they say only the truth can set us free, so we can live in peace among ourselves without any prejudices. My name is Professor Uzodinma Nwala. I'm the president of Alibo Development Foundation, A.D.F, a body working for the birth and development of Alibo. Thank you very much.